Good morning. Good morning.
What's up? Good morning. Good Friday morning, peeps. Good Friday morning. What's going on? What's going on? Yes, it's been a busy week. It's been a crazy week, and it's we've been doing so much stuff, man. I can say it just seemed like we was doing everything all in one day. It's just crazy. It's just so crazy with so much stuff going on. The time has went by so fast, and we just doing so much. And here we are again. It's going on another weekend, man. What's up, Charlene? What's up?
Man, I'm just saying, Cyber Week, Cybersecurity Month, this whole week
Mhm.
has been very interesting. The conversations have been great. Uh, and just learning some new things. Even for me, there's always something new to learn. So I cannot wait to get into today. But I wanted you to give our sponsors a shout out and then we can jump right on in.
Yeah, because these sponsors, I know I'm sponsored. And I'm gonna get it right. It's not Martin Payne, y'all. It's Martin Pratt. Yes, Martin Pratt, the Black Tube Box. Go get your personal autograph copy right there. It's on the screen. Go and download. He's got it as an Amazon. It's at so many places of where you can get your regular books purchases. Go purchase and get your personal Black Tube Box. Also, with that autograph copy, you get a consultation with the man, the myth, the legend himself, Martin Pratt, so he can give you some insight into what this book does and can do for you. And if it's not for you and you thinking like, oh, the Black Toolbox that don't fit my narrative, purchase it and gift it to somebody. We are coming into the holiday season. Someone could use this book. Someone you know can use what's in this book. Gift it for them. Give them to them as a gift. Right? The Black Toolbox by Martin Pratt.
Yes, and you can only get the autograph copy from his website directly, theblacktoolbox.com.
Yes, yes. Forgot to mention that part. Yeah. But hey, here we go again with the Live Business Mastermind group with Russ and Scott. Yes, there's our two fellows right there. We're in this group as well. Me and Charlene, and we love being in the group. We love sharing our ideas, building our businesses with the live stream. Of course, that's what we're doing right now. We're live streaming to teach you how to grow your audience. We tic-tac of information off each other, throw stuff off the board, see what sticks, and we come to encourage each other in there with support. So join the group, see how you can elevate your business. This is for those who have never live streamed, all the way up to those who think they're an expert in it. We got some of everybody in the group, so we share our information, our knowledge, and we push each other forward with that accountability piece part. So go to
Yeah,
rustheads.com and join the mastermind today.
facts. And then let the folks know about your clarity session.
Yes, yes. My clarity session is going to get much clearer because I got another banner that I'm coming out with that's going to say some things on it that I want to say. This is just some of the accomplishments in the last 25 years. Yes, I've trained over 1,000 leaders. Yes, I was stopped counting at 1,000, so that's why I say over. But come on out. We got the clarity sessions. They're open now. We're going into this fourth quarter, this Q4. We actually really much in this Q4, and we're getting people mindset ready for Q1. Start right now. The clarity sessions are open. Go book them. CarlShawnWatkins.com. BeVulnerable.club. Click on clarity session and let's get it started.
Yeah, so for me, it's like I've been saying all October, we are getting you ready for 2023. Now I got 8 sessions left for October. Head on over to brooklyn.customdesigns.com/strategy. This is all about your website strategies together, understanding how you're going to use your website in 2023, all the marketing campaigns that you want to do, all the email campaigns. What is it that you want to promote to people? What do you want them to either download or purchase and still add themselves to your email list? All of that, we're going to help you put together as a strategy on using your website better, more efficiently, more effectively. Why invest so much if you won't use it? We're going to help you use it to the fullest. So head on over to BKLYNcustomdesigns.com/strategy. That's brooklyn.customdesigns.com/strategy. Book your session today so we can make sure that you are up and running and looking right for 2023. So, like we were saying, all of this is Cybersecurity Awareness Month. We're in week 2 talking about updating your software. We already covered understand what phishing is, get those emails together. All of this is on my blog. So make sure that you head on over to brooklyn.customdesigns.com/CSAM. So, yes, as we go through that, That's what today is about as well. Being proactive. What do we need? Because being in cybersecurity and making sure that you are prepared, it requires us to be proactive. We can't just wait and be reactive to already being hacked. By then, most of the time, it's already too late.
Too late.
One of the things that we found out is that Marriott International, they reported a hack,
That's one
child.
of my best
Over 5
hotels. Come
million
on,
records.
Marriott. Come on.
5.2 million records, customers to their employees, all got snatched up. Your login credentials, all that. And how did that happen? It happened coming from one franchise. One allowed access, and they got away with 5.2 million records. Whoo, child, that's a lot.
I can't even
And that's a
talk.
big, and you can see
I just
that
lost
big
for words.
organization. You can see that big organization. What would be the issue? Why would somebody be able to do that? A lot of it is just because 95% of these hacks, these breaches, are human error caused.
Mm,
It's all because of human error, right? We've been
yeah.
talking about a lot of this week. Human error can be the number one top cause of why you're getting breached, because we're not putting things in place. We're not being proactive enough. We're not educating ourselves to say, you know what? Just in case, let me do a couple of things.
Yes. A lot of things we don't take into consideration of in Marriott. I'm just ashamed of you, Mary. I'm just ashamed. I've been a Marriott. I've been a Marriott guy. I've been a Marriott account holder since late '90s, right? Like I always stay at the hotels, and it is just I just never had an issue. I must say, you guys are giving me great service all the time. I've never had an issue, never had a problem on the customer service front, never had anybody say anything. But this is just a disappointment to me. But right, all seriously, no one's exempt. No one's exempt. The
Exactly.
only thing that you could do is be proactive. That way, you have things in place and processes in place so you can kind of deter, or kind of like beat, or kind of like fix these things, right? Because they're breaching everybody. Like I don't know what I guess they plan. They don't have any rules. It's sort of like criminals, right? They don't have any rules, but the cops got to follow all the rules. So this is what happens. And when you don't have any rules to follow, you create up as you go along. And when things work, you can continue to do them because they're not against the law to you. You already breaking it. So these are the things that you could do to be proactive. It's just about putting that, that coat on, that raincoat on when you go outside. Maybe the umbrella get blown around, right? But if you got a rain jacket on or a park on, you still for the rain, though it's not an umbrella that covers you, it's some kind of protection that keeps you from getting totally wet. And this is what being proactive does for you in cybersecurity. 95% of security breaches, they happen because of human errors. That's people being curiosity. And you killing the cat, which is not yours. You're killing the business, you're killing the profits, you're killing a lot of things just being curious. Because you got that
The
one little
trust.
finger. And you just like, well, I know that's Auntie Mamie from down south who sent me that email, so it should be safe. Man, that's about 20 Auntie Mamies. They didn't clone Auntie Mamie and sending you something and put an apple pie picture in there, and you think like that got to be from the family. These are the kind of things, and funny as it may sound or humorous as it may be, it's really tragic because a lot of this can be solved with people just following guidelines, following the blueprints that's designed in the companies that you work for, or availing yourself to those to present it your companies, the companies that you're building, the entrepreneurship that you got your name attached to. You might want to try to be proactive as that as well.
Yes, and it's very much if we're going from a business standpoint, it's the business's job to
Mm,
educate freelancers, contractors, employees. It's the business's job
yeah.
to educate that and to put things in place for best practices. And it's the individual's job to be wary because now you're in someone else's yard.
Mm.
Someone invited you to play with them. So now you're in their yard and you can't just do all willy nilly things, let strangers in the backyard and all that. You can't do that.
Talk about it, man.
You
Talk about
can't do that. Right? So just like when you at your place of business, you want to make sure that you have permission from the homeowner to allow people to come in and out. And
Mm,
usually what's that permission? It's the cybersecurity measures. What are you typically allowed to do? What are you typically supposed to do? Follow those rules, and majority of time you can prevent this. You can minimize the dangers and how far these breaches can get. You can minimize a lot of that, right? Nothing's 1000% proof, 100% proof. Nothing is, but it's up to us as the human factor to
mm.
ensure that we are not doing things that can put our data in jeopardy. So one of the myth busters that we're going to have for today is, I don't need security software or protocols because I don't access unsafe locations. Now, baby,
That's
it has
funny.
nothing to do with if you are going to be the one going
Yes.
out of your safety zone and you going into these bad sites and, oh, you know this not to go here. There's a lot of times where hackers are doing, they are mimicking legitimate sites as best as they can, and they have gotten better at it. From the websites to the emails, they have gotten better at it. So you have to put your due diligence in to always be alert. We heard earlier this week from Tracy. You want to make sure that you pause yourself, you stop what you're doing and pay attention to what's going on, and then start reacting and researching properly so you can do better. You don't want to just start clicking on anything and get nervous because somebody's going to tell you something, because that's what happened to me, right? Because we're doing the shows, I got a message saying, oh, there's a copyright complaint. I'm like, what? Now, at first, my eyes were like, click, click, click,
Yeah.
because it
Stop.
was like, oh,
What's the thing Tracy
right.
say?
I had
Stop.
to like, whoa, and it was really like, oh, within 24 hours, we're gonna
Mhm.
disconnect your account. We're gonna shut it down. I'm like, shut my account down. I've been on this thing. I've been on Rinky Dink Facebook since 2009. I said it, Rinky Dink. I've been on there 2009 when they didn't have videos.
Yeah. What's up with that, sucker bird? Sucker
So I'm like,
bird.
how you gonna threaten me and I don't do nothing? So because I knew that we just showed there was music on it, and I was like, we've never had a complaint. What's going on now? I had to put a pause on it because, like, wait a minute. And I went directly to Facebook, and I put in the numbers, I typed in the address, and it didn't go anywhere. But here's my dilemma with Facebook, and this was my beef with Facebook.
Yeah, we got beef on me.
Facebook, even through the legitimate security page, Facebook has old links that go nowhere. So
Mm.
they go directly to a 404. And Facebook, when you have pop-ups and things and they say, oh, learn more, I'll click on those and they'll take me to a 404 page. Clearly they didn't do their job and update their links.
No.
So when I got that message, I didn't think anything of it. I didn't think it was a fake. I was like, oh, maybe this is just wasn't updated properly. Or maybe this is one of those links that, because those are things that are real too. That's legit. There's certain things you can only do through the app.
Yeah.
And even with LinkedIn, I get that message all the time on LinkedIn. If I get an email and I click on it through LinkedIn, it'll open up and it says, oh, you can only do it through the app. And it'll redirect me back to the app. So that's where my mindset was at. So being hacked is not something that you can't get, or it can't happen to you. And there's no such thing as you don't go to unsafe locations. They are everywhere.
Everywhere.
They are everywhere. So you need to have protocols in place. Even if you don't have all the top security software, have protocols in place. When my account got hacked on Facebook, I had protocols in place. I knew what to do. I already had the two-factor authentication on. So I knew that was safe. I had to just go back in and I already added certain things that Facebook gave me access to. So when it saw things were happening, it locked the account. It
Mm.
didn't suspend me, it just locked the account, and then I had to go back in and prove who
Yeah.
And I did all of through my laptop browser. I didn't use the app anymore. I just went straight through the browser, straight to the website. Sorry, go ahead, Carl. I had to rant a little bit on Facebook. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, don't get it twisted. We ran. That's that. We carry a little bit of the real talk to this talk. So we definitely bring it in on there because it's necessary to be said because we want to give you this information to kind of alleviate some of the headaches that you may have to. And jumping in on this, Miss Busters, a lot of times we say we don't need the software because we don't know about it or we don't actually know what it could do, or we don't actually understand how to use it. Because I hear that a lot with a lot of things, not so much as with security, but just in general with people that don't. Well, I don't really need that, yeah, and what that really translates to me is okay, you don't know nothing about that, and you don't understand what that does. And maybe these are the questions that you need to ask yourself to reframe that. And you just I laugh so hard when you say I don't access unsafe locations. Really, they put it in safe places for you too. Your email, your website, your social media. They put it right there. They send it to you in your messenger. They send it to you in all those areas. And then you just are clicking on it. And then you look, if you don't get a 404 error or something like that and it goes through, they got you. They got you because you're going to follow it up after that. If you've done that first click, you just the humanity of you is going to say, oh, let me see what this is. And regardless of that fact, and it's just the stupidity of us still continually just to click when we know that it's not safe. We have no idea where it's coming from. And now it's really, you really have to be more aware. And I put it to you in this sense because everybody has email thing for you to sign up. Everybody, everybody want to get your email. So you got to first, I had to build an email just to take those emails because I wanted them. I'm tired of them coming to the business email. So I built the email so they just go to them emails, right? And that just full up. It's just so much stuff. There's so much stuff that people are saying. Like you respond to one thing, and a lot of things I don't sign up to because I don't want your stuff. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't. I really don't want it. But sometimes you put in this or you put in that, and they automatically get you, or they tell you, yeah, somebody this or somebody that. You put that stuff in, and you putting it in, and you're clicking, and you say, "Oh, well, I signed up for them before." You don't know if that's what you signed up for before. The stuff is so easily be cloned, and it's easily to be manipulated, and it's easy to be. Somebody send me an email. I will say her name because a lot of people know her anyway. So they like I'm saying. Somebody sent me a lot of people on LinkedIn. They know Sinead Moray, right? You've heard of her at some point. It says she got over 1 million followers. You at some point in time you've heard of her. Somebody you know has heard of her, right? She's just in that way. Not that she's just so dynamic. It's just that she's been on a while doing her thing. And I got a request from Sinead Moray on Instagram, and I was like, oh, that's funny because Sinead Moray is already in my friends. So I looked at the thing and I was like, oh, okay. And they was like, click this and this and she wants to follow her with this. And I'm looking and I was like, yeah. And curiosity was getting me because I was like, well, what does she come out with now? Because I know she comes out with stuff. And then I looked at the top and I looked at the name. And the name was spelled Shanee Moray. It's not how she spells her name. But they had everything else outfitted. They had everything down to a T. They had a little videos playing. They had all the things that looked recognizable to me. They almost tripped me with that. And that's just saying, and I'm just saying, I'm sharing that with you to say, yeah, I can be got. We all can be got. They getting good enough to get us, but we have to be proactive in the essence of how we do that. I smacked my hand. This the right hand was trying to do it, so I smacked. And I was like, should they change her name
Yes. So
to Shani? She's Shani Moore.
Shanae. Oh. So part of that is like how we were talking mindset. We need
Yes.
to adjust our mindsets when it comes to being proactive. We can
Mhm.
no longer think that we can't get got. We can
Yes.
no longer think that we can't be hacked. Our social media is safe. Our emails are safe. Our bank accounts are safe. We can't think that. If you're sitting here using your phone for everything, your phone should have security measures on it.
Facts.
You should be using your biometrics. You need to be using your passcodes. You need to have backups for the backups of the backups.
For the backups.
Yes. Even when people are so reliant on password managers, those can get
Mhm.
hacked too.
Yes.
You need to be vigilant. Be vigilant, be ready. And the mindset is the first thing that we need to start adjusting. We can no longer assume we cannot be hacked. No matter how much you think you in the safe zone all the time. You don't do nothing else. You go to watch your Twitter feed and you look at your two YouTube channels and then that's it. You safe.
Yes, because you ain't fooling nobody but yourself. If you telling yourself that, that's the only way you fooling. Because it
Come
doesn't it
on.
it doesn't it's there's no safe sites on the web. Like there's sites
That.
that has securities, there's site that has walls and those kind of things there to kind of protect you, but there's no safe sites on the web. And I'm not even a web genius, and I can tell you that it's not, because at some points and places, times or something there, a breach can happen, and a breach can happen. And the funny thing about a breach, man, and look at me, I'm trying to talk like I'm cyber. I don't like I'm Cyberman. The breach is so funny that stuff could be happening, and they could be swindling and get. I'm not swindling, but ciphering all of your information for long periods of time. And
Yep.
just because you haven't seen it or haven't come back in your face or it hasn't been noticed to you, don't mean they ain't ran your well dry, and then you go get to do something or try to do something, go make a big purchase or go try to, to put your name on something or get some, and then they come up with your little report. Man, you just tried to buy a house in the Hamptons. A house in the Hamptons? Man, I'm barely can afford a house around the corner. And yeah, people gonna be using your stuff for that and getting those kind of things. And it doesn't have to be nothing that is all out there with the flashlights and the sirens and saying, "Oh, somebody using your stuff." You have to be proactive. That's why we're talking about it. You have to adjust your mindset and say, these things can happen to me. What can I do to be proactive with them? What can I do to save myself from so much? Maybe they will happen, but what can I do to be able to get my information back? What can I do to protect those customers that have leaned and depend on me to purchase my products and services, have put their personal information into my databases? How can I do for them? How can I send stuff out? You don't want to be like, you don't want to be like TransUnion. You're supposed to be protecting your credit, and then after your stuff gone, they're gonna talk about, yeah, we're gonna send you out 6 months of free credit monitoring. No, you could have kept that for all the time you're supposed to be monitoring.
Come
Yeah,
on
I got a
now.
problem with you, TransUnion. You already know.
As you can see, we've heard we realized this all week. he got issues. I'm going to help him draft a letter so he can send it out
Yes,
to
yeah.
TransUnion.
And I
And
tried to. Now I work with a bunch of attorneys, and that's the first thing I see when I saw that breach. And he's like, "Carl, some things you can't fight like this. That's why they have that stuff." I'm like, "No, no, no. You can sue some of everybody. Y'all do it all day long. I sit in the office with y'all. Y'all do it. We can draft up
Lord,
something."
and part of something you can do is get educated.
Yes.
Bring in some cybersecurity education and some awareness training.
Yes.
We've been talking to folks all week about how can we properly do this? How can we properly educate yourself? No, like they said with GI Joe, knowing is half the battle.
No, not the GI Joe.
Knowing is half the battle. Yeah, I
That's
did
so
that.
true.
Right? So if you're not aware of what's going on,
Mhm,
how can you prevent yourself from getting caught out
mhm,
there? So pay attention. Look at what's going on, and if you hear on the news that there's a breach that happened, who did it happen to? What happened? How did it go down? And
mhm,
then that way you're aware of, oh, okay, this is a new thing that they're doing. Okay, this is what's happening. Let me be aware. So when if it happens, I can be like, oh, wait a minute, didn't they talk about this? I heard about this somewhere. Okay, and that's all it is. It's not that you now need to be proficient at cybersecurity. You just need
yes.
to be aware, educated enough to help you along and help you now figure out what's the platforms that you need to be on. What kind of security can you invest in? Or is there insurance that you need to invest in, which there is. We can talk more about that throughout the month. And
Mhm,
how can you actually make this something to protect yourself, your clients, and anybody who working with you? You want to make sure that you're doing that.
definitely. And you want to make sure that there's an understanding there and sit down with it. And it's calls for strategy as well. And this is a word that I've learned and ingratiated over the course of these 3 years that we've been doing a lot of this Zooming and live strategy, right? I now
Mhm.
have found and kind of kind of like set where strategy really is needed in everything that you do. Not a lot of times when you're working for someone, strategy is not at the top of the list. But when you're producing your own and you're doing your own, strategy must be a part of things that you live by. You must have strategies in that. If you don't know what your capacity is for the things that you sell or offering to people, sit down with some people and say, "This is what I do." This you don't have to be the smart one in the room. Like you get the smart ones and you sit around with, I know how to do shows and do all this little special stuff. I just piece together some stuff. I started doing with Charlene. Then I started knowing certain things what to ask for. She would talk about it. And I would say, okay, well, I put that in my data bank. So now I know when I'm talking to someone else, I know some particulars. And this is how you learn because he's passing the knowledge, right? Get into the structure of these, get into some rooms or some places or some groups. And if you don't want to be the one that just ask the question so everybody can look at you, put the question in some of these lives. There's a lot of people that's doing live streaming that are giving you an opportunity to ask questions about that. We have it here where you can ask questions out there. Charlie can just about ask any question you want to know on cybersecurity. She can. Yeah, I know now between her and Tracy, who we had on this week. Oh my God, I have a cyber headache and listening to them two talk all the time because they know what they talk about. So ask somebody if you don't know anything, get a pen. I used to tell my kids all the time, you don't know, get a pen and a pad. Write it down. Go old school. It'll make you remember stuff.
Mhm.
That you actually got to write it. You know what I'm saying? Do those kind of things, and you'll find out that it really will only help you in the end. It really only help. It only take one time for you to screw up. That's why they call it accident. And an accident change lives or destroy lives. So it
Yes.
only take that one time. Just think of it as a car accident because that's about the best visual I could give you. That 1 second you look down to text, or that 1 second you look away and don't pay. Accidents happen like that. That could be the same thing
Yes.
with your
And
business.
there's a thin line between an accident and a deliberate ignorance. Because
I was gonna say
deliberate
an
ignorance
accident, an
will cost
idiot.
y'all money. Deliberate ignorance will get folks in hella hot water. So you don't want to be in that zone. You don't want to be in
No,
that zone. These
no, no.
accidents are there for you to learn from. So let's take those opportunities and learn from them. And then one other thing that you can definitely be proactive with is password protection. Stop using simple passwords. Folks are still using 123s password. Like this can't be. We can't be in that mindset that we making it way too easy to figure out.
Way,
They
way
want
too.
you to remember your password, but they don't want you to make it super simple to figure out. I keep saying hackers have it all day. They got all day to play.
Mhm.
So they got the time. When you say, I'm so busy, I don't got time to do this. Hackers got time.
That's all they
And
got.
that's the last thing you need. That's the last thing you need is for them to have time to figure out that your password is 123 password. That wasn't
Yeah.
hard enough.
No, no. And I can just see now. I should change that. I should change that. I should change that. It's too late to be saying that. It's too late to be saying that now. I'm not one of the ones that say I told you so. Even though there's a lot of opportunities that come across where I have that chance to do that. I don't gloat in other people's misery. But what I do say when things are told to you, consider it. Like consider it. You don't have to do nothing that we ever say on these shows. Nothing at all. Just
Right.
consider what we say. It's
That.
information, and what information is, information helps if it's applied. So once you do that, get the information, go out there. You can do all this cyber. Why do you think they continue to have these months? Because somebody not paying attention. If they just needed one cybersecurity month, just whenever they first started, I don't even know when it originated, but they got that first month, then they've been done with it. They say, "Oh, everybody got it." Why do you think it's repetitive? They keep talking about it because people still doing the same thing. People are still doing the same thing. So you got to talk about it.
And I want to say it started around 2013, but
2013.
don't quote me on that. I think
Okay.
so. And then at one point, President Obama made it like an official declaration.
Yeah, I do remember
So
that piece. Yes, I do remember that. Yes.
So it happened because so much was going on. People need to stay aware. And something else for password protection too is making sure that when you're doing your passwords, you're keeping them in a safe space,
Hmm.
right? I know LastPass, they have master passwords that
Yeah.
it protects everything else. And then they also have it where you can do the two-factor authentication on LastPass. So that way you also need your thumbprint. You also need to verify that you're trying to log in. So they making it where you have to protect your password and make it difficult. If
Yes.
somebody wants it, make them put the work in. That's all I'm gonna say. If somebody
Absolutely.
wants access to you, make them put the work in. Don't just hand it over easy peasy.
Don't
So
give it
the
to
the
them.
last one, yes, I have a bonus one for y'all.
Oh, bonus. Oh, boss.
Being proactive in cybersecurity, remain vigilant and alert. If
Yeah.
you are adding yourself to these systems that tell you, "Hey, there was a breach. Hey, this happened. Hey, we found this on the dark web." Make
Mhm.
sure that you actually go back and check what is it? What's the alert?
Yeah.
What are they saying to you? Right? And then change your password. If they giving you heads up, change your password. They not giving you heads up for nothing.
Yes, yeah. Because they got a lot of stuff they could be doing. Instead of sending you an email telling you about your password, which you ain't paying
Come
attention to.
on now. Yes,
Yeah.
let's not make ourselves the easy targets for not only hackers, but also the ransom folks. The folks that say, you know what? Oh, I see that you did get hacked. Let me laptop for $17,000. What? The laptop cost that much. What you talking about? So
And they will
so
get
let's
and they will get you with that. And what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Right? We talk about not paying them, but when you in between a rock and a hard place, and you need your information, Tracy, I think she brought that up pretty well. When you need your
yeah,
information and someone's holding it hostage, and there's nothing that you can do about it, like you're in a state of panic at that point, yeah, because you need that, right? So there you're at their whim at that point, and you don't have to be in that position.
amen. So I'm just gonna leave y'all with the last two things that we were talking about. If
Yes.
Marriott can get hacked and they got for
They-
5.2 million records,
And I'm
you are
probably in
no
there.
different.
I'm probably in there. I'm probably.
You are no different. And lastly, don't forget 95% of security breaches happen because of human error. So
So when
let's
your
do
little
better,
finger go like
folks.
this, smack it. When your finger
Yeah,
like
let's do
pop.
better. Somebody try to scare you, and this goes for me too. Somebody try to get you
Mhm.
all nervous and willy, then shut it down till I'm ready. Shut it down till I get back. Let me investigate. If you shut it down in 24 hours, you shut it down. I'll get back to
I
you.
come back to you. I come.
Right?
Remember, I'm gonna share this quick story with you. We gonna get out of here because I know we gotta go. I remember a few years back, my sister-in-law, she got a call at work, and this is when the phone scams was like really every now. People don't too much pay attention to the phone scam, but this is like when they really scared you. And it was somebody calling saying it was a police and they had a warrant out for her, and she had such and such and such. And my sister-in-law, she's kind of like nervously rattly anyway. So they called her. So she called her dad and told her that she needed such and such money because they had a warrant for her and they was coming to her job pick her up. Now, of course, the nervousness of you hearing that, right? And this has never happened to her, so she didn't know really about that. And she's sitting at her job, and they told her that the police is coming to her job to get her. Never did it dawn on her that she didn't do anything wrong. I'm just saying these are the tactics, but they had her so up in the knots that she called her dad, and dad, I think they told her they needed $500, and they sent her the information or whatever. So she called her dad. She didn't just do it; she called her dad. So her dad called, and it's funny now, but it wasn't funny then because we laugh about it now with holiday dinners. And he said, "Did you call the number?" Right? And she say, "No, they called me the thing." And I can just imagine how the conversation go because I know how both of them are, right? Yeah, they called me and they said I had this much to send this and this because they was coming to my job. They don't want them to come to my job. I don't want nobody come to my job. He said, "Did you call the number to see if you did anything? Did you find out anything?" So she sent him the number. He called, and it was some foreigner. I don't remember what kind of foreigner it was, but it was a person had a foreign dialect, and they talked. And he told them that he was going to send. He said, "Well, you come and get me then. Since y'all gonna come, just come get me. I'll be sitting on the porch waiting for y'all, right?" So, so when he told us the story, I was like, "What they say?" He said he ain't say nothing. He hung up the phone, and then he called her and told her what happened. And he was like, he didn't call her to tell her what had happened on that part. He said, "Did they come yet?" So, I mean, to make a long story short, it's funny we laugh about it now, but she was just so tremendously horrified. And you can get in this state; they do it to elderly people all the time. You
Yes.
can get in this state where they can have these stories crafted so that they'll have you doing things, and before you know it, it's too late. So, be proactive, y'all. I thought I saw that to laugh and take y'all into y'all weekend.
That was one of the funnier stories, but yes,
Wow, wow.
it was because we could talk next week about tragic child. That honey,
Yeah, that was
it's a
funny because
mess.
she didn't
So
give
we
out none. You're
can't.
right. So it did turn out to be something she could laugh about now.
Right, right,
But had she not done that, she could have been in, and it wouldn't have stopped at that one thing. They probably would have continued to do that, and she can continue to send money away if she didn't seek out some kind of help. So
facts,
awesome.
facts. So you guys have a great weekend, and like I said, it's Cybersecurity Awareness Month. So take the
Mark.
whole month and just get
Yeah.
into it. Get used to some of
Get
the
aware.
terms and some of the places, the websites. I'll be dropping some government sites that you guys can go to, trusted sites that you guys can go to and learn more information about it. So yeah, we cannot wait to keep this conversation going, and we'll see y'all next week, y'all.
All right.
Bye.
It was just y'all later.